You just tuned into the Whatever Bro podcast, featuring Fall River's own Joey Scotty. Get ready for hilarity, vulgarity, and sound guy Jeff, with funny man Justin Cross.
Can't wait to dive into this meat, the meat of the topic, and rip it apart with our teeth.
Oh, wow. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Whatever Bro podcast. Now, do we have a story for you? We were just doing the podcast for, what would you say, 6 or 7 minutes?
5 minutes.
5 minutes. We're live right now, by the way, right? We're live? Okay.
Who's that? Sound guy Mel?
Sound guy Mel.
We have a whole bunch of
Sound gallery.
We just went live for 5 minutes, and we only were talking to ourselves.
Yeah, I had it set to only Scotty's profile could see the video. So we're talking about Mel, who's here, which we'll get into.
Yeah.
We're talking about what we're doing on the weekends. We're talking about parties, and then the whole time we realized it's not recording because Scott checked his phone.
Thank God I checked my phone. We have Sound Guy Mel because Sound Guy Jeff is not available, and Sound Guy Joe had to put this shit together. Somehow.
Correct. And I thought I had it perfect. I really did. We went through some struggles plugging things in. And then I finally got it. I go live, and then 6 minutes in, Scott says,
Hey,
Joe, nobody's watching this.
We're live right now. It looks good. Justin, can you do a mic check?
Check.
I can hear him in the headphones.
Yeah.
Right? Just keep them
got the-
lips really close
He's got
to
the
that.
different
okay?
input.
Pretend
so.
like it's a big black penis and just get as close as you can
Ooh,
to it.
30 live viewers.
I'm used to this business.
And then Sound Guy Mel, I have a job, not a job, but something if you want.
At least sound girl, Mel.
No, it's Sound Guy Mel. It's Sound Guy Mel.
Sound gal?
For whatever,
Sound
but
gal.
for whatever people know, they don't know. It could be a dude right there. We don't know, right? Nobody can
Yeah.
see him or her. If you see any interesting comments, feel free to shout them out and be like, "Oh, this was interesting." If you see any, yeah, click in the Facebook.
Yeah, just as long as there's absolutely no effect on the live feed.
Yeah, and if you see any interesting comments, fire away.
Yeah, please do.
So we're here.
Here
We're
we are.
live.
I'm super close to the camera because I have no choice.
Yep. We did this with Sound Guy.
Yeah, I'm proud of us, even though we fucked up for 6 minutes.
Okay.
What we were talking about though was Justin and his parties, and how you're a little nervous because you may throw a party in the coming future.
A New Year's Eve party. And we were saying to ourselves, because no one was listening, just a couple of dudes having a convo in the basement on a Thursday night.
Which isn't all that odd.
Yeah. I was saying, I'm a little nervous because I've had some close calls in the past.
Yeah.
I've had, for example, as we were discussing, people dancing on my roof.
Yes. A rather large
Yeah,
man.
not just any person, a 300-pound man.
Yeah.
And that's being gracious.
And he's up 2 stories, by the way, right? This
He's
isn't
on-
like 10 feet up.
Yeah.
This
it's
is
like
up there.
30 feet. I would say at least it's 30
the
feet up.
house is built high in general.
fucking huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was he doing up there?
And it's on a hill, so it's on a wall.
Yeah.
So that adds it. So it's like a 30 to 35
Right.
foot drop.
Yep.
to the
I
street.
think his intention was to watch fireworks maybe from it, and then it turned into a dance party on your roof.
One, he was hammered, yeah, and he thought he could watch the fireworks up there. This was during the 4th of July. And then he invited every other drunk fuck up onto the roof.
Not a good idea.
Which
And
there's
I-
always a lot of drunk fucks
Right,
at your
and
house.
I only found out about it because I heard partying, screaming going on, and I looked up, and there was about 7, 8, 9, 10 people on the roof, hammered, half naked,
Good Lord.
dancing on the roof.
That's a normal party at Justin's, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to.
I gotta say,
We've
like,
had.
I always looked forward to those, and
Yeah.
you used to do them like almost weekly, bi-weekly, and then you ended up calming down because you're like, I'm sick of cleaning my house. I'm sick of cleaning my yard.
The next day was minimum an 8-hour shift of cleaning.
Yeah.
And also the neighbors were none too pleased.
No.
With,
Well, because you.
With what specifically?
just like
Noise?
First of all, a party is fine. I invite you to a party, come to my house, sleep over, hang out the next day for breakfast. Great. I had people 48 hours later still there, especially in the summer.
Ugh.
They would sleep on my lawn. And they would start partying the next day. They would.
Are you guys hugging?
Scott's bringing me in close.
Our
man.
camera work here is tough, so we got to be
It's
close.
so tight because we're doing split screen today.
Tell me about your party.
You guys basically have to be touching noses to be
Yeah.
in the same
All
shot.
right.
I think we're better now. Now we're good. But go ahead.
I'd have people sleeping on my lawn into literally, no exaggeration, 48 hours. It was the next day.
Yeah.
It was Sunday, and then they would call their friends.
That's slightly rude because it's like I think like somebody like me or Scott would, even if we slept there, we would go the minute we woke up. We wouldn't be sleeping till noon.
Before like 2 a.m.
Where his party like starts at like 1, 2
Yeah, that's when it
with the
starts
dance party where
Yeah.
the drugs come out. What?
Sound guy Mel.
To the
laying
mic?
down
Well,
the
it's
law.
because it's delayed. I think they're seeing before
No,
you
wait.
came
Closer to
together.
what? The mic or closer to me?
Oh,
Yeah.
who, Justin?
No, to the mic.
This is fun.
Testing. How do I sound, people?
He sounds wicked distant.
Unless he takes off the pop filter.
I've had a lot of women tell me that in my life. You just
Try that. Take that.
Take the
Test.
pop filter
Okay, the
off.
pop-
This is a new low for us, by the way.
Testing.
There's a
Yeah.
little,
Bro, fans.
there's a
Yeah.
little bit of a pop now.
That might be better.
I like it. Let's keep that off.
Oh, okay.
I hope. No, I can hear his. No, you just want us to share a
gonna
mic.
You need to kiss the mic, and your nose has to be touching Scotty. That's how.
We're gonna have to do a duet, Scott.
I think that's better.
Yeah, you're good.
We'll see how it goes.
Mel, keep us updated.
So
Yeah, keep it updated.
I did want to tell you guys. I went to the local watering hole that I go to, and I was there with my girlfriend and a friend of hers. And the friend was just like, "Oh man, I really love the stuff that you what's up guys do." And I was like, "Did you just say what's up to me, or did you call us the what's up guys?"
That's a new low. What's
That's
up,
a very
guys?
new low. In the past, I've been asked, "Are you the Portuguese kids?
Yep.
Oh no.
Are you
The whatever brothers. we
The
get a
whatever
lot.
brothers,
Are you
like-
guys
Are
the
you
whatever?
the WhatsApp guy?
the WhatsApp guy?" What was I gonna say though?
That means we're not popular or famous at all. You guys, what's up, dude? Portuguese?
Yeah, the whatever brothers, as if
Yeah.
Scott is my blood brother and we are Joey and Scotty whatever.
They got a few syllables correct at least.
It's like we put out like 100 videos, hundreds of videos
Yeah.
in the last 15 years.
You guys
just,
have over 1 million views, correct?
total? I think we have over like 10 million. on
Yeah,
YouTube.
we got
Whoa, hey.
total. We got millions. Yeah,
That's nothing to sneeze at.
because
Nah,
we got
could
that
be
was
better.
very much an old person term right there. Very much to sneeze at. I'll tell you. But yeah, what's up, guys? That was a new one for
That's
me.
rough. That's
Yeah,
rough.
I had to laugh. To me, I find that shit hilarious. I would like though for someone to call us by our correct name. Okay,
Yeah, whatever, bro. Whatever, bro.
Bro
Films
Flim
works.
Flams.
And you know what's coming soon is Christmas,
Yeah,
Ugh.
dude.
I got to tell you,
This is getting rough. Like, there needs to be something set up so that people don't have to exchange fucking gift cards to their whole family, because that's pretty much what happens now, right?
yeah,
'Cause everybody's just like, oh, I gotta get gift cards for my niece and my niece's kids and blah blah. And nobody really, at this point, at this age, we don't even want gifts. I'd rather not get any and not have to give any. Now,
Yeah.
someone like you, it's tough. You have a family of like 1,000.
Yep, which is funny you mentioned because I used to have to buy for a whole bunch of extra people, and finally I sent out a group text before the holidays, and I was like, "Hey, can we just not buy for each other? I'll buy for your kids, and that's it."
Which is what Christmas gifts should be about. Is
Yeah,
children.
and it's taken away like 6-7 people off my list to buy for, which for
Fantastic.
me is very
about
it's less
$300
stressful.
at least.
Yeah, I used to look at my list about who, because I would have to make a list because I would forget.
Did your family members agree to that and say like I like this idea, or did they give you?
Yeah,
shit?
they were like, yeah, it's great. Now, I also got screwed because I was single for so long. So I was buying for, like, brother, sister-in-law,
Oh, fuck
2 kids.
that. Fuck that.
Yeah, and double that. So I had to do that for 2 in-laws, their 2 kids, or 1 at the time. And it just added up, and it was such a pain in the ass. So I ended up agreeing with them. They were fine. And now I only have to buy for a few kids and, the girl.
Who do you buy for? Or do you not celebrate
Dude,
Christmas?
I got it down to just, and I've tried to end Christmas literally the past 3 years at my house.
End
I'm
it
like,
completely?
at my family's house. I've got it just down to my parents and my sister, and that's it.
That's not
But
bad.
But even then, that's too much for me.
No, you don't get anything for your girlfriend?
No. Actually, we have agreed, like, the best gift is nothing.
That's awesome.
Yeah. We both are like, fuck Christmas.
Yeah.
The best thing to ask for and want is absolutely nothing.
You know what? Your girlfriend's not materialistic at all, so she's not. I think some of them would be like, this is not a good idea. I want you to buy me stuff. But she's not like that.
Maybe a ring. That's what a lot of girls say.
So
Yeah.
you wouldn't consider her high maintenance, right?
No, zero maintenance.
Okay, beautiful.
But yeah, she's like, don't get me anything. I'd be angry if you got me something. And
True.
I'm the exact same way.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is a bullshit holiday. And I'm trying to convince my other family members to, like, let's just give up on Christmas altogether.
like not celebrate,
Yeah,
not get
just
together,
cancel
No,
it.
now
not be nice to
yeah,
each
no,
other.
let's not even see each other.
Now, are they religious where that's absolutely out of the question altogether?
No, my family's weird because they were in a religious cult, which I've discussed before.
It's one of my favorite stories.
That's right. I forget what happened.
They were in this bizarre religious cult. It was a Christian cult, right? If you go onto the website,
Was this while you were born or not, or before you were born?
this was I think I was like very young
All right.
when they got
This is
into it.
fucking nuts.
the Church of God?
It was a worldwide Church of God. So if you go to a website called cultwatch.com, which kind of tracks the various cults in the United States,
Mm-hmm.
you can find the Worldwide Church of God on there. Although now it's kind of like it's shifted and changed into something else. But at the time, it was like a bona fide wacky cult
Yeah.
where they believed the leader of the church was a reincarnated prophet named Ezekiel from the Old Testament.
Oh shit!
Wow.
And your
Just-
parents
just
bought
a-
into this stuff.
Yeah, they were like, that sounds very logical. Let's
Let's practice and preach that for the rest of our lives.
Now, that was that long ago. They still
No,
practice?
they've gone to like a less nutty version of
Okay.
this.
Well, that's good. At least they've evolved slightly.
Yeah, like it's like less insane. It's
And
still
now
pretty insane.
You obviously
Gotcha.
don't practice that. Do they give you shit for not believing or
they've tried, yeah.
And what do you say to that? Like,
I'm just like, everything you believe in is insane to me, and also stupid. So I'll never go. Like, stop! You're wasting your energy, and
Yeah.
your breath. Stop right there. I'm never gonna go to church.
Did
Yeah.
any of your other siblings do it? Or did they also agree with you, like, Mom and Dad, this is a little nuts?
I guess my sister's still religious, but she's it's like the new wave where they're like,
Gotcha.
it's Christmas.
Laid
so-
back.
Yeah.
Okay.
that is
Interesting.
wild.
So they never looked at you as, like, this is our disappointing son because he doesn't go to church with us.
Well, they had a falling out with the cult and then stopped going. So they had their own kind of disillusionment with it.
They asked them to sacrifice their firstborn, and they said no, right?
Not exactly. It was weird. There was like, if you look into the history of that particular cult, there was like mysterious deaths, aka murders, possibly.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of suicides because if you were gay, for example, like growing up in this church, the policy was like, well, obviously, your son or daughter is possessed by demons.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
wow. So they didn't know homosexuality.
No
No.
homosexuality. Interracial relationships were also considered.
Nice
Wow.
religion. Nice
Yeah.
religion.
I didn't know these details.
Yeah, and again, the whole thing was run by a reincarnated person. So like, it was an actual man, but he was like
Supposedly.
he was like a guy from the Old Testament.
So he was supposedly reincarnated
Yeah, he
as
was
this
a guy
guy named
named-
Tom or some
No,
shit.
it was Ezekiel, you son of a bitch. Ezekiel was incarnating
Some
his
guy
body.
named Tom.
I bet you his real name was like Tom.
That's your dad.
Jacobson.
That's your dad's name.
I know. He's probably my
It
dad.
was Scott's dad running some scheme.
Hey, I have a question. I was thinking about this today too. If someone, because you're a very open-minded person, not religious. I don't think any of us are super religious. If somebody put a gun to your head right now, and was like, tell me what you think happens when you die. Like, if you had to give an answer, I know that
Okay.
the answer is probably I don't know, or it could be. But if someone said like you have to give a concrete answer as to what you believe at this point truly happens when you die, like what would you think?
See, Jesus.
It's tough.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
there's
no
because the amount of possibilities and the probability that we don't know. But like I have this weird fear that actually is nothing.
I would love that. Oblivion?
Like
That's the ultimate
pure
like,
sleep?
nap.
Yeah,
Because what's better than like a great night of unconscious
I think
sleep?
that might be what it is.
Yeah,
and
I would love that.
in a way, it kind of freaks me out though. I don't know why, but like the fact that there's nothing nowhere for the spirit or nothing to go. You're done. I don't know. Because I want answers when I die. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to die when somebody, but like before I go for my ultimate nap, can you just tell me what the fuck this was all about?
Right.
Why are we here? Why did this happen? Why do bad things happen? Good blah 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 blah. Like, I want answers. I think that's why I don't want it to be nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I always flip flop on this because
And you have someone who has done lots of psychedelics, so
Yeah, I've
you've
done
seen maybe
I've done
more
a lot of-
possibilities than we
I've
have.
done a lot of drugs.
But that can open your mind up, right?
Oh yeah. And there's even like you have experiences on a heavy psychedelic like a DMT, for example, or an ayahuasca,
Right.
or even if you eat a lot of mushrooms, you'll have these out of body experiences, and they seem very real. But of course, the ultimate question is
Is it just your brain?
there's no way of knowing when you come back to reality. It's like that seemed 100% real, maybe even more real than waking reality. But was it just some byproduct of your brain, or was it
Right.
in fact like a different dimension that you were actually inhabiting?
And I think that's the battle we'll all go to our deathbeds with, not knowing.
right. Yeah.
You know. How about you? What do you think? If you had to say what happens when you die, what do you think?
Oh man.
It's tough.
Yeah, because if you're thinking of the physical science of it, you're just rotting in the ground,
Right.
or being incinerated.
We know the body is. I'm saying
Physically.
You think anything?
Because of that, the brain releasing something, which is that's the impact of DMT. That's what gives me a little hope that there's something crazy once you die.
DMT is endogenous.
So it's in plants. A lot of
It's
it's in us.
It's in the human. It's actually the most concentrated in the lungs, which is interesting.
Ah, I thought it was just the pineal gland.
The pineal gland also, but also the lungs. So yeah, we have this extremely potent psychedelic coursing through our system, which is in itself very odd.
So
Why is it there?
Right. And
well, science has no idea.
And here's the ironic thing is one thing that actually made me, I had a big problem with death for a long time. One thing that recently helped me out was I listened to a few different people who don't know each other, like online. I've listened to their near-death experiences.
Mm-hmm.
C.T. Fletcher was one of them. He was on Joe Rogan. And all these people
Fighter,
say,
right?
Yes. All these people say the same thing. They're like, dude, I felt nothing but peace and love. He's like, all the shit in my life that I ever worried about, thought about, was concerned about, was gone. One of them was even Kevin Smith.
Oh, yeah.
Is that the guy who does Jay and Silent Bob?
Yeah, he had a heart attack or
He
something.
had a heart. He said the same thing to Joe. There was also everything you read. The point is, like, it feels like everyone's getting DMT released every time they're about to die.
Well, see, that's the question too, because one, they didn't actually die because they're still alive. So was it just?
Well, C.T. Fletcher was out for like a couple minutes, like
right.
dead, and they brought him
but
back.
He didn't have like obviously he's alive today.
Right, he didn't die completely.
Right. So the question then is, was it just
your brain like misfiring?
Endorphins being released by the brain. You know,
hey, you can go back and forth.
But then now on the other end of that, what if it's just as simple as when we die, we just piss and shit ourselves?
Yeah.
What if our brain just shits itself?
That's what I'm saying. It could be, and no one wants to believe that because it's scary and weird, and there's no God, but
Yeah.
it might be that, bro.
Might be.
We might just be ants
What-
out here in this
you know what-
little planet.
What scares me is those religious. I don't want to call them nut jobs, but there are even family members that I know that are just so heavy into religion. Now, say you die, and say there is nothing. Like they spent their whole life believing there was something. So
Wasted.
it's a disappointment if it's ever. It probably will never be proven, but
Right.
it's just a disappointment if religion is totally 100% fake,
Yeah.
and these people have been living their lives.
I think that's why it's important to always be open-minded, dude, and be like, you know,
yeah.
Catholicism.
That's the thing.
It could be some truth to it.
We're not saying, oh, God's not real. We're not saying
We have no idea.
this isn't real. All we're saying is be open-minded. You don't know.
We don't know, and neither do you.
And then when I say that to someone who's religious, they say, no, you have to have faith.
No, you
faith.
have to have. I don't have to have shit.
I don't even know why I said it like that. But no, you have to have faith, my son.
And yeah, I don't know. And it's tough because I care too much about the truth to just have faith in something.
Yeah.
So it's tough. And DMT, just for people who don't know, like DMT, I know you could speak to this better. I'm just saying for what I've read, you could smoke it, which lasts about 10 minutes, 15 minutes of a high.
5-10 minutes. Yeah.
Okay,
smoke.
and then but you can drink the ayahuasca, which is the tea. Which is,
It's a different one.
This fucking guy went all the way to Peru for what, a week almost?
Ayahuasca is actually a combination of two psychedelics.
Okay.
It's DMT and harmaline,
All
which
right.
is a separate psychedelic combined, and it's like a 4 to 6 hour trip, not as intense as free-based DMT.
Okay, all right. That's a good. I had that question. So it's not as intense as smoking it, which
No,
I've watched people.
You actually have to
Make sure you guys don't have too much space in between you, too.
Yeah, get next to me,
Come on,
man.
buddy.
I can smell your wine breath, and I love it.
I just
Hopefully
I'm
the
looking
police
at my
don't-
feed.
Yeah.
Hopefully the cops don't say that when I drive to work in 10 minutes.
Well, just and you. I know we did a whole podcast on you going there, but could you quickly just I still think about that to this day. You actually went through the jungle to get to Peru to stay on a retreat with a shaman and other people and do ayahuasca, and that is fucking fascinating to me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'd love to go back.
It was bold enough to me to take that flight and take that
I can't
boat
even
ride.
look towards you because I'm so close to you.
You
Scott
could
and
have.
I are uncomfortably close.
Like I can't.
Wait, let's look at each other. Oh, this is awful.
I can't do it. What song guy Mel?
When like 8th graders go to like homecoming and their moms try to take them.
Closer.
Get together.
No,
Get
see,
together.
this
boys.
I'm cool with. It's when Justin says something and I mistakenly look at him and I'm like, fuck, I can see like your teeth.
I can see your soul.
Yeah. It's when we kiss is when it gets weird.
But yeah, I was very fascinated about you going there and your experience with drinking that ayahuasca and tripping and shitting your brains out, throwing up
Yep. You like just making the trip there for that's one.
by yourself.
That many hours on an airplane. How many hours was the airplane ride?
Well, it's like I don't know. It's probably like maybe an 8-hour trip.
Okay, so 8 hours. Then you have to go on that boat trip. Now, let's just say this is the stuff I think of. What if on the boat ride a savage tribe just decides to kill you all or kidnap you?
Did that ever
Well,
cross your mind?
Because you're not dealing with like a city or a regular.
You can't be like,
town here.
officer, there's a tribe guy trying to throw a spear at my face. No one's
Yeah.
there to help you.
Someone throws a spear at you, a bamboo spear.
Guys, they didn't have spears. They did have poison darts, and that's not a joke. They had poison dart
This
guns.
is what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. You don't.
Yeah.
There's no law out there.
No, well, law of the jungle, baby.
Exactly. That's what it is. That's what it is.
Yeah, no, there were tribes locally, but the shaman and I mean he owned this kind of center in the middle of the jungle. I guess if you can own a patch of the jungle, and he had a really good relationship with the local tribes. He was actually married to a girl from one of the tribes,
Yeah.
so he kind of had that in, and it was like you would visit the tribes and they would just try to sell you stuff. So that was more valuable.
But so you get through the jungle and you get to this center, right? Like
Yes.
this place where there's other people who have also gone on this trip too with a real shaman. And your goal here was just to have a very spiritual psychedelic trip, right?
Right? Yeah.
And you did.
Yeah.
And it was fucking nuts.
It was,
I always remember when you told me the boxes. The thing about like Mother Ayahuasca showed you the boxes.
Yeah. It was pretty bananas. Yeah.
So in your mind, it was mission accomplished as far as the goal.
Dude, it was fucking out there.
Wow.
First of all, yeah, you're in the middle of the Peruvian Amazon. I mean, completely isolated.
Jesus, yeah.
There's a movie broke down. I pictured you in this movie, Broke Down Palace,
Broke Down Palace.
where
yeah.
I think Claire Danes and who's the chick? She's popular. Anyways, they commit a crime. Like in America, it would
there's
it would be a minor, not a minor crime, but it was just like I think they had weed maybe.
I thought there was.
But somebody planted it on them. It wasn't theirs.
Oh, okay.
And so they had to do 30 years hard labor.
And that happens.
And like, I can't remember if it was Thailand or something
it
like
was
that.
Thailand.
Was it?
That's where the famous line "Oh Billy" came from. Because
Really?
she puts the guy's in jail and she visits him and he's like, "Show me your nipple," and she's like,
In-
"Oh,
in the
Billy."
movie?
Yeah, and that's where
Oh, bit.
Dumb and Dumber
Ah.
kind of spoofed it from.
No, it was
And he starts, like-
it was Cable Guy.
Is Cable Guy.
Oh, Cable Guy, yeah, and he starts jacking off
Oh,
in Broke
Billy.
Down Palace.
Dude, you just educated me just now.
That's crazy. I didn't know that's where it
I
came
thought
from.
Jim Carrey created that.
Yeah, no,
but he didn't.
That's
yeah,
nuts.
That's what I learned under the influence of ayahuasca is that in Broke Down Palace, that's where the nipple line came from in Cable Guy.
Wow.
So some deep
That's crazy.
What's the name of the movie?
Broke Down Palace.
There's also Brokeback Mountain, where we're basically doing
Oh,
what
dude,
happens
it's-
in that movie, and they're very close. They make out in a tent, but yeah,
Scott and I will reenact.
that when you told the story though about how when you started to trip and like there's always this feminine spirit, right?
It's very odd. It's unlike any psychedelic I've ever done, ayahuasca, that is, because now if you listen to the locals, they will tell you that any plant, including just like, a rose or a thorn bush or poison ivy, has an indwelling spirit and a personality.
So they'll just smoke a bunch of shit.
Well, they're not like dealing with plants that they can't smoke or eat,
Mm.
but they're saying like generally any plant, any living thing has like an indwelling spirit or personality, and
Make sure you put
Oh,
that directly. Yeah, not
stay
don't
close?
don't side mic
That's
it.
good.
All
yeah.
right.
Yeah,
How am I
right.
doing?
That's good. That's better.
And some of those plants are allies, and some of those plants are enemies. And
Mm.
ayahuasca is a plant. They said before I took it with a very feminine kind of ancient grandmother energy.
And you felt that.
Oh, you definitely. Yeah, you
It's
feel
fucking
it.
weird, bro.
It's very weird.
Because now she presented you with. This is what I want to get to. 'Cause it's so fascinating. She presented you with, like, as you said, like 8 boxes.
Yeah, it's a variety of boxes. This is I was having some pretty intense visuals at this time, and it was like this gigantic old Peruvian woman, and
That's fucking
she
nuts.
was coming with all these boxes, and in each box there were like 3.
And this is all in your head, right? Like, this is
well,
from
that's
what.
dude. That's
From,
the
well,
way-
from what, if you were to explain it, like, no one. You're just kind of passed out at this point, right?
well, my in physical reality, my body is just like laid out in like
You're just fucking.
in
Yeah.
a dark
All right.
hut
All right.
in the middle of the jungle. And yeah, so it's weird. It's like to say you're seeing something is kind of odd because my eyes are closed.
It's the way you can explain it. So obviously you're not seeing it, but you're
Yeah,
experiencing in a different sense this woman.
With my eyes closed, I'm seeing this whole
This is
scene,
fucking
and
nuts.
it's almost like all your senses kind of merge together and have this experience, if that makes any sense.
Sort of.
But yeah, this gigantic old Peruvian woman appeared, and she had all these boxes, and each box was like this 3-dimensional cube.
And you knew what they were when
And
you saw
well,
them.
you could see like in each one was like, hey, do you want to address this issue, or do you want to address this issue?
All your deep-rooted
Do you wanna
problems,
address this
right?
issue? Yeah.
And didn't you say you said you picked the worst one, right? Or one of them right away?
Yeah, I think I was like, at the time, I think I was having like just trouble with like an old relationship, and I was like, let's go with that one. Let's just go with the.
Let's
one
take old relationship
Yeah.
for 500.
Yes, Alex. It was Alex Trebek was
Alex.
this old Peruvian.
Now,
guy.
after that, did not have to deal with that pain and that whatever was bothering you with that?
It's a great relief from like whatever issue you have. It really helps to like kind of alleviate whatever suffering you're going through.
And doesn't it, like, I've heard it pulls it out and kind of forces you to deal with it and then move it on? Whereas, like, a lot of people, because I know I've heard a lot of people with depression, anxiety problems go up there for that reason and find out, man, they had deep-rooted issues from, being sexually abused or God knows what from their past. And that mother ayahuasca just kind of rips it out of you and makes you deal with it, puts it in your face, and then you can move on.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Actually, initially, and this is pretty common, I found out later, because this happened to me off the jump, and this is where there's a weird thing with DMT and ayahuasca and, like, UFO abduction experiences. And there's a book called DMT, The Spirit Molecule by a Dr. Rick Strassman. And this was a guy who did government-sponsored, in the United States, DMT experiments on volunteers.
I heard all about that,
For 4
dude.
years, yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of these people were like, yeah, it's the weirdest thing. You gave me DMT, and the next thing I know, I was being abducted by aliens, and they were, like, scanning me and experimenting on me.
Which
And-
obviously was the trip, right?
Well-
Or was it?
Well, is it? Because...
Oh, were they coming through another dimension, dude?
Right,
They're like,
right.
dude, this guy's on DMT down there on Earth. Let's get this fucking probe him.
Does the DMT enable some type
Right.
of contact with some other entities,
Which
or
would-
is it all in your brain?
Which would make sense if you've done DMT. I'm sure you say, well, it kind of
It
feels like.
It certainly feels like it's different entities interacting with you, but is it your brain? I don't fucking know.
Is this something that you've done it and that's it, or is this something you would do again, or something similar to it?
I would 100% do it again. Actually,
Like same place and everything?
oh yeah. Well, my shaman unfortunately passed away because he was a really old guy and he died recently. All right, Scott's trying to comfort me regarding my dead shaman.
We're gonna have to fix these cameras next episode.
How's Scott's cologne?
Yeah, how's my dick smell, dude?
His colon? No, it smells awful.
I was actually, when we were organizing this shit, I was trying to figure out how to best squeeze you guys.
is
I just
unbelievable.
saw
Look at-
Justin smelling
Dude,
you.
I can't see.
It's unbelievable. We'll address this
We'll
in the next
address it.
episode.
See, yeah, if you minimize the shot, it kind of takes.
You'll see the
it-
background
it
might
makes,
be a little
it
different.
makes the screen smaller,
Yeah.
and then you can see black. You know what I'm saying?
Sound gal Mel.
Yeah. Anyways, what was I going to say?
DMT.
talking
How would
about
you do it again?
drugs.
Would you do it again?
Would you do it again? Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
Because that's
So, but you're not actively looking, or not.
well, you know what? The funny thing is, I have in my bathroom medicine cabinet. You know when you pull your bathroom mirror forward.
Yep.
I have a vial of DMT. That I'd have to freebase to smoke.
Wow.
So anytime I go on my medicine cabinet, I'm like, get that. DMT.
Did you just get this on the streets?
I've had it for like probably 2 years now. And
Yeah, where'd you get this shit?
this was like a friend of a friend of a friend.
Oh, okay.
It's because it's tough to.
Yeah, how do you
Sure.
get access to DMT? That's crazy.
DMT is a little tricky to get because it requires like a basic chemistry setup.
Yeah.
So you have to I've looked into it before. I've even gone as far as purchasing the bark for it. You have to start with, because it's in a lot of trees and plants. So you have to start with the bark or the tree, which you can legally buy online. And then from there, you have to get kind of a basic chemistry setup.
And you got to make it. Yep.
Yeah, you got to combine it with chemicals and break it down. But here's the problem: making DMT, the chemicals to make it and the chemicals to make meth are sometimes exactly the same.
Wow.
So
Here's some DMT, bro. By the way, my
Yeah.
face falling off, or is it just me? Yeah. It's,
well, in chemistry, you got to make extractions, and that sometimes requires very caustic, aka explosive chemicals. So some of those chemicals, if you buy a lot of them, you get red
So you
flags.
you really need to know your drug dealer.
yeah.
Yeah, and you have to also be kind of a chemist to make it.
So next
correct.
time you do it, real serious, can you record it? Because I've seen DMT trips on YouTube and it's fascinating. 'cause-
Can we record it
Yeah, I'd like to.
Yeah, I want you two assholes there.
live on the podcast?
You need to-
I'll do it right here at the fucking table.
Imagine if you had it in your pocket.
and you just
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
straight up just started.
Good
smoking
idea,
right now
guys.
And went and saw some aliens for 10 minutes. But no, but I've seen people trip on YouTube and it's fascinating
On
because
DMT?
yeah.
Jesus.
So you know how you try to get I guess you try to get 4 or 5 whacks out of it.
Yeah.
Well, this one kid did it in his kitchen, and he sat down at the corner of his cabinets, set it up, and he set it up because I've been told this too, that when you come out of a DMT trip, when you come out of a dream, it all seems clear, and with each passing second, you start to
forget.
lose it.
Yep.
I think your brain tries to get you back, whatever. So he did that to document, so he wouldn't have to write anything down. He sets it up, and he tries to take 3 whacks. He gets to 2, and and you can tell this kid's not. You can just tell it's genuine. The way he's passed out is fucking weird. There's a couple times where you know what I'm saying, trying to come.
Yeah.
And
There's
then
nobody there.
when he came out, dude, he was so fucking fascinated and trying to explain it, but you can't use
So
the English language.
excited though. He was.
Wicked. And he kept saying this. He kept saying, "This is nothing, bro. This life here means nothing. It means nothing for what I just saw." And that's what everybody's experience is, and they try to explain it, but you can't use the English language to
Yeah.
explain. Trying to basically trying to explain to somebody what being itchy feels like if they've never been itchy. It's like I feel like being itchy. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah.
Smoking or freebasing DMT, I should say. It's fucking intense because you take.
You get shot out of a cannon, right?
Oh yeah, well yeah, you take a few hits and then all of reality starts to vibrate.
Oh,
Yeah, it feels like there's just a crazy earthquake happening around you. Like everything's shaking.
Dude, I'd
very
never come back
quickly.
out of that. I'd never come
and
back.
then you start hearing a high pitched sound getting louder and louder, and it kind of goes with the earthquake that's happening, and you're like, what the fuck? And then before you know it, you're actually shot out of your physical body into, I can only describe it as hyperspace. I don't know
It's like Doctor
dimension.
Strange.
Yeah, it's
It very. By the way, we watched that movie. I was like, dude, this reminds me of what people say when
This
they.
is what DMT's like.
Dude, that's what people say.
Yeah, Doctor Strange was a very psychedelic film.
Mm-hmm.
See, I'm so scared. I would do mushrooms and DMT and all this stuff on my deathbed because I'm too afraid that I won't mentally come back from a trip like that. And I know that there's people, I've heard of people, not necessarily on DMT, but on certain drugs that trip and are really never the same. Matter of fact, there was a kid, my cousin said that a kid did MDMA, the Molly, whatever, but did too much of it, and he's never quite been the same since. That shit freaks me out.
Yeah, and that's exactly why I don't even
Can't do it.
attempt that shit. But
Can't do it.
Justin will go to Peru and be like, "Sign me up."
I give you credit.
Well,
I do.
Here's the thing. Those people that have issues after the fact, they had pre-existing conditions. So this was someone probably with schizophrenia or something.
So this knocked them even worse than.
And
Even if that's the case, though, I don't ever want to.
Right,
If
but
I'm a schizo back deep down there, I don't want to pull it out.
here's the thing. You're at the age now where if you were schizophrenic, you would already know.
Gotcha.
So you're
I hear what you're saying. I even when I smoke weed, I can't smoke weed. Even when I smoke, I feel in a very weird place. And I know when I'm high, I'm like, dude, can you imagine if this never went away? I'm like, I would be a fucking maniac. I'd kill myself.
Yeah.
And I just that's why I can't. And a lot of people I talk to lately, this age in the 30s, can't smoke anymore, and they smoke their whole life, and they're like, yeah, I'm starting to panic, and I'm like, I think it's because your brain, you start to, as you get older, you start to get wiser, you start to open up. And when you open up, like weed fucking makes things make you think about shit you don't really want to think about. You know what I mean? That's my guess.
But is it good for you to think about the things?
It is.
I think it is.
It is. See, I already think about them every day.
Right.
So this just magnifies it. And I mean, I tried, because I quit drinking recently, you guys know. So I tried to substitute that with smoking. So I went to Block Island for 2 days with my buddy, and I just smoked the whole time. I said, I'm going to be a pothead for 2 days, no matter how it feels.
That would make me very sleepy.
It was awful. I wasn't sleepy. I was not.
You're just out of it.
Bro, I didn't feel like myself. And like, I woke up at 1 in the morning, at 4 in the morning. I was like, the perfect time. I'm going to try and smoke. And this was the indica. Yeah, this is the indica, the body high. It's supposed to be the body high. I smoked that shit, and I was like this, 4 in the morning. Till 8 in the morning, like this. Just thinking about all.
Now, there are people that smoke every single day. And
and function on it.
Yeah, they have to do it. They almost have to do it because it chills them out or it relaxes them. Then there's other people like me who I'll pass out. Like I used to smoke back in the day, and there was one night where I just stared at the corner of a wall.
It was at my apartment.
It just wipes me out.
One of the days,
takes everything out of me.
It was unbelievable. He was at my kitchen table, and I saw you from, like, I was over there, so your back was to me. You were just like this
by myself
for a good hour
at a table looking at a wall,
just miserable. And I'm like, it's weird how it affects people differently.
And people tell me there's all different kinds that affect you in different ways.
You know what, Scott?
I don't totally.
I've tried it all, bro. It all does the same shit to me.
Yeah, but are you trying like?
I tried indica from the dispensary. So
it said indica.
It said indica on it. It's actually I can't remember the name of it, but it said blah blah blah.
Oil
indica.
or like a bud?
Bud, flower.
Okay.
But every type of weed I've ever smoked since I was a kid has all made me feel the same type of way. Sometimes it's worse, sometimes it's not as bad, but it's always fucking. The only time I can smoke is when I'm shit-faced drunk. Right, like. Same way, right? Because you know why? It shuts off that anxiety. Sound guy Mel I'm talking to right now.
Sound guy Mel.
It shuts off that anxiety that you normally have, so you can kind of just be fucked up.
Yeah.
Whereas when I'm sober and straight, the minute I smoke, I'm like, oh man, all that stuff I did or said. Shit, we watched the UFC fights like a couple weeks ago, and I was smoking. And
because like he saw everyone drinking and he needed a substitute, so he smoked a little. And then I saw him take a few hits, and I was like,
Joe's like, not good.
This is not going to end
And
well.
then I heard in the background.
That's me, like, on 5 vodka sodas. Like, I'm sober enough to be like, that's going to hurt.
Like, and then I heard him say, like, yo, to the other kid, why you always got to get the best weed in the dispensary? And I'm like, fuck.
No.
And then I remember.
Yeah, those guys don't fuck around.
No.
I would never.
That was stupid. And then we were watching a fight, and I remember I would just say something like, oh, man, he almost got him, or something like that. And I'd be like, what did I just say? And I would.
Paranoia.
Can't do it. And I'm like, he just got him. What are you talking about, Scott? They're going to know you don't know shit about UFC. I mean, it was awful. And that's what happens to me every time I smoke. And I know you're similar, right? Yeah.
Right.
It's not for everybody. Yeah. Yeah, I get depressed too.
Really? So the after effect for you is it brings you down?
No, while I'm on it.
While. Gotcha,
yeah.
gotcha.
After it's going, I'm like, oh, thank God, I feel kind of in
It
control.
sounds like you're just getting like way too high.
It's true, but I swear it is one whack, just like.
You're gonna do like a pussy whack, like a.
Yeah.
Like
he does pussy wax all the time.
I do baby hits.
Right. That just like with that girl, what's her name? Whose house I was at and had a shot with her, and your friend there.
Oh yeah.
Don't even say her name.
I'm not gonna say it.
Just-
Can you tell that story?
Oh, yeah.
Bro, hey,
That's one of my
hilarious.
favorite
Listen to
stories.
this, Mel. So this girl, she looks like Lady Gaga a little bit. No,
she's a.
Yeah, let's just not give her away right now.
doesn't matter. This story makes me look dumb, not her. Anyway, I had no business even being around her. I don't know how this happened. I really don't. We weren't friends or anything. We were just talking. I had met her a couple times, and somehow she allowed me to come to her apartment at like 11:30 at midnight.
Invited you to her house at 11:30.
Hey, you
on like a Saturday.
Yeah.
night.
Hey,
So
what do
you know-
what do you say you come by and we hang out a little? Yup.
Bye, friends.
Yeah.
So I end up there. Now I'm drunk, fucked up, but not like hammered. I don't know.
And you're thinking this is a done deal.
I'm like, I'm getting laid tonight by this
Jackpot.
really pretty girl who I'm surprised this is whatever. So
by
I get it.
By the way, she's gorgeous. She is.
This is why I'm like how am I here right now? So anyway,
She's stunning.
Those are
by
my
the way.
favorite
Yeah.
stories, by the way.
Yeah.
I fucked it up with the hot girl stories.
yeah. I got plenty of those. So I get there, and it's honestly, to me, the vibe was good. She had, dude, it was cool.
Everything
and then,
was going great.
And then she pulls out a weed pen, and she's a professional weed smoker.
Mm.
Yeah, she pulled right here. She pulled out one of these.
Take a hit and really take us there.
But I should do just to be. I won't do it. I won't do it. She had one and it had a setting on. Does yours have a setting of like juicy and super juicy or whatever?
Yeah, it's like,
thank you. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
So she puts
I'm setting it up for you.
She put it on the juicy setting, right? I took one whack. I blew this shit out, and she was talking to me, bro, and I didn't know anymore what she was saying.
You blew it out. This is the worst with weed pens. You exhale. You think you took a bitch hit, and you exhale, and you exhale, and you exhale, and the vapor keeps coming.
I was going like this.
Yeah. Now it's a minute
And I'm
a
like,
half, and you're like, oh shit,
bro, it was nuts. Anyway, she starts talking, and I got to a point where I am like, holy shit, I think she's been talking for 2 minutes, and I have all I've been thinking about is how high I am, and so.
I don't remember anything she just said.
I tried to power through, Joe. Like, I tried to power through and be like, we're going to get through this one way or another. I'm fucking this girl somehow. And it got to a point where I actually, after honestly only about 10 minutes, maybe not even, I got up and I said, listen, I don't know what you're saying.
This is where it started to go downhill.
No, and I go, I don't know what you're saying, but I can't be here anymore.
And what she was saying was like, hey, so I got this new underwear. Like, I'm going to model them for you. Just tell me what you think. And Scott's staring at the wall like,
dude. And I was so high to not, I didn't feel bad. Like, I didn't feel like, oh, I blew it. I just was like, I need to get back to a normal planet. So I literally am like, I'm so sorry, I got to leave. And I walk out right to her hallway.
Best part.
She's trying to put the light on. I know this after. I just wanted to go. Like, I just wanted to go home. So I walked down the hallway and was like, I see him. I fucking fell down a flight of stairs, dude.
He fell down the stairs.
I fell down an entire flight of stairs. I thought I was on a first level.
How are you doing okay after that?
Right there. Don't know where I am. Don't know what's going. I'm just.
But
I'm
sure it hit you in the morning.
Yeah. It did. So I fall down the stairs. She puts the light on and looks at me with just this face of, you know, you're never coming here again, right?
Absolutely.
Like, you know, just disgust of like, you little pussy, you can't handle a little weed. You just fell down my fucking stairs.
Yeah.
Get out of here. So I leave and I went home. I went home, bro, and just stayed in bed.
I pictured the sound of tumbling downstairs.
180 pounds of just dumb fucking rocks falling down. And I sat in my bed when I got home and just was like, I was high as fuck. Like, so high. And the next day, I felt normal, and I just was like, dude. And I had tried to, like, text her just to be like, I probably said something like, dude, I'm so sorry for falling down your stairs. That was hilarious, huh? No.
No response?
She responded maybe 6 hours later with something short, as if to be like, I'm going to be nice, but don't have it. And so I had to, but that was my, so I blew that chance. And and that's why I don't smoke weed, ladies and gentlemen.
Man.
Yeah, like, damn. I could have.
It's a rough one.
Hey, yeah, it sucks, but I just know I can't smoke weed and be normal, I guess.
Well, you can't smoke weed on, like, the highest setting on someone's weed pen.
Come here, babe.
All right, I'm ready. Let's bring it in.
That's a tough time where if something's offered to you, you almost have to know, is this going to fuck me up right now?
And it's the girl.
You know what I mean?
It's a girl
like
you're trying to
I know.
You said did you take a giant hit of it?
Yeah, but this wasn't her fault. I was the one who said, let me take a whack of that. She didn't.
So you were feeling like bold.
I was feeling like, I even said to her, I'm like, I'm going to show this girl who's boss. I even told her, I was like, I don't really smoke. I was like, but that's all right. Wicked mistake. Yeah, and so that I know now to be like, no. But I've known that already. It was just dumb. I was just wrecked. Usually when I'm drunk, like I said, when I'm drunk, I can usually handle it. But this weed that she had was the oil, like you got, and it was special stuff, man. It sent me to the moon. Yeah. And I'll never get that opportunity again, which is whatever, but
that's hilarious, man.
It's funny, isn't it?
You can't look back.
Look ahead, man. Just straight ahead. We're gonna move forward.
Just move forward. You got to get past this.
Yeah.
I'm actually friends with the girl that Scott's talking about.
Oh, so has she told you about this and like made fun of me?
We're slowly narrowing it down for people.
I've heard the story.
Does she think I'm a super dickhead?
You heard it from
you gotta know.
Yeah,
you heard it from the other side.
And that was very like, he just like he fell down my stairs, and after that I was just like, all right. You know what?
You got to get the fuck out of here.
I'm all set. It was exactly what you thought is what she thought. Like, yeah, he got weird. He fell down my stairs.
I
And
told
after
him
that, like that was the end.
Does she understand though that like
she-
it's because I smoked? Like, does she get that? Does she just think I'm a fuck up that just doesn't know how to like?
she like yeah, she knew you got high and fell down the stairs. but that was enough for her.
So she doesn't.
She was like, I told him to leave because I thought he was gonna wake up my landlord.
If I ever see her again, I just want to be like, listen, you know, it was just because I was high. Like I don't
No,
smoke.
she knew.
She just doesn't care.
So you haven't gotten a chance to talk about it
no, with her,
or to
no.
reflect on that.
I know
night.
I'll see her one day, and I'd love to just be like, bro, like,
Don't start with bro.
no, I want to talk about it with her to laugh about
God,
it.
listen.
Not like I want to show, dude, that was crazy when I
Hey,
fell
dude,
your fucking stairs.
Dude,
no?
I fell down, huh?
And the weed was killer, right?
And did you give a shout out to the Whatever Bro podcast on the way down? Like, Whatever Bro podcast.
Tune in
Every
tonight.
Thursday
We got a
night,
show tomorrow.
6:30. Tune in, live feed.
It happens, man. It happens, bro.
It does.
You know?
Yeah, we've all. Well, I've never been in that exact scenario.
Not in. I never fell downstairs or anything.
We've all fucked up somehow. Either you fall down the
Correct.
stairs or your penis doesn't work and it's with the girl you're really into. You know, we've
Oh, yeah.
all been there.
We all have those
Yeah.
stories. Well, we all here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone does. Everyone does.
Happens.
Hey, but it
There's
was
nothing you can do but
funny.
forget
Fall
about it.
downstairs.
But like, won't you? Not even about stuff like this, but won't you randomly think about embarrassing moments in your
Oof.
life and cringe to yourself sometimes?
Ooh, yeah.
That's when you know it's real bad.
Yeah, just like random shit though. Not even necessarily on a date or trying to hook up, but you just think of something where you're like, oh man, I can't believe I said that. I've said things at wakes before that I thought about later, and I was like,
Like how you doing? That's a big one I do by mistake.
oh, here's one. It wasn't a wake. I went up. I saw an old supervisor that I used to work with in retail, and at the time his wife was pregnant, and like years had passed, and I was just like, how's your little guy? He's probably running around playing soccer and stuff. And he was like, nobody told you, but we lost our child. And I was like,
like at the mall?
where do I go from
Like at the mall? Like you lost him for an hour?
And then I said, well, you better find him then. And I got out of there.
Where is the little lovable scamp?
Well, if you lost him, let's go look for him. Am I right?
I felt terrible. Luckily,
Yeah.
this was a man I knew so well. So
Yeah.
he actually just chuckled and was just like, oh, man,
Yeah.
nobody told you.
Yeah.
But then he was just like, oh, but she is pregnant now. So, and they ended up having that child. So there was some hope in the story there. Like, it wasn't just like, oh, that child didn't make it and that's it.
That should. Hey,
It
listen,
was, oh, she
that shit just happens,
got
though.
pregnant again. So
that shit happens.
I didn't feel bad because I knew him so well. But if that was like a stranger, I would have been like, all right, well, I'm going to go home and kill myself now.
Yeah, really. It happens, man. I just say how you doing at wakes and funerals all the time and always forget. Like
Yeah.
I'm just like uncomfortably there, nervous, and I'm just like, hey, how you do? Oh yeah, you're probably doing bad since your dad's dead.
Yeah.
Like it's tough.
No, people want that levity. If you're first of all, the whole funeral system is fucked. Like
Way too ancient. Needs
Yeah.
to be revamped.
if a loved one dies, they make you stand in that god awful
Ugh.
line
Yeah.
for hours on end. It's like you're being further punished. You're already depressed and sad because
I
like
know.
your mom died, and then you're gonna stand for 6 hours in a line.
I've been fortunate enough where I haven't had to be, like, say I was a close relative
Oh.
and I had to be in the line there with like hundreds of people coming by and kissing me. I would never want to do that.
That's tough.
And I've never been in that position. But you're saying you've been in that position where
I've been in the family line.
that's
rough.
terrible.
Yeah. It's such a antiquated shit system.
It's so ancient and it's so like
on both ends it sucks, but for the people in that line from
It's-
3 to 6 or
It's
whatever it is,
fucking torture.
Don't you
terrible.
think it should just be a gathering somewhere outside of
Just
a
have
funeral
a party.
home?
Just have a party.
Now,
with
that-
person's photo.
that's
Yeah.
the thing. They don't have a party, but they have like get-togethers after
Yeah, I
after
believe
a wake or after a funeral. So like then those are cool and
Those are
like
fine.
that's when you can talk to family, say what's up to people you haven't seen.
That's how the whole thing
but
should
to
be.
be in an actual part of the line.
Yeah.
It
It's
sucks,
terrible.
and that gets back to my point. When you're in that line for 4 fucking hours and everyone's
Mhm.
like, "Oh, I'm so sorry," they're crying. they're
Yeah,
upset.
and you're just
If
like,
if
ugh.
someone comes by and cracks a joke, you're like, "Thank fucking God."
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're so happy. You're so delighted.
That's
that-
interesting.
Yeah.
You know I'm coming to funerals now
Yeah,
with
yeah.
fucking jokes handy,
Yeah.
like
And
right
that-
out my pocket.
I don't know if it's a Portuguese thing, but Portuguese wakes
Oh,
when,
those are the worst.
when people they are. But for the for the 70 to 90-year-olds, it's a social event.
Yeah.
And I'll see them in the crowd,
they
and
love
they're
it.
having a great time. They're like,
they're-
I haven't seen Margaret in ages.
Yeah.
For them, it's like Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
They
Oh,
get to see
absolutely.
people they haven't seen in a while. But then to people like us, we're like, oh, fuck death. Death is terrible. I don't want to be here.
Oh yeah.
I don't like the whole body thing either. I think it's crazy that we have like. I've never looked at a body and been like, okay, now I have closure. Like I look at a body and I'm like, bro, that's not who I
Yeah.
love. That ain't. That's
It's
a fucking.
it's
stuff.
supposed to be a last time to see the person. Unfortunately, there's no other way to like
Yeah.
see what remains.
That's why I like when they do the closed casket in a picture.
picture. Yeah, that's true.
I mean, this body is literally inflated with chemicals and makeup on it. It looks like a fucking doll. Like this isn't. Nobody looks at this and goes, that's my man. Like
Yeah.
everyone's like, dude, this is weird. Your fingers look like fucking. You know what I'm saying?
It's very plastic.
yeah.
awful. Yeah.
Now, I would say I want to be incinerated because it's a lot cheaper. But what if the DMT doesn't take effect or that whatever
Well, by
it is?
that point, you're long dead.
Yeah, you're already gone.
So you're
So
already
so it
out.
only
Yeah.
happens at the right at
before death.
Right before
Ah, I
That's
should
why
have known that.
Everybody's
Yeah,
got
Blast
the
off.
near-death experience.
All right, so I'm gonna be incinerated. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, me too.
death.
If we get doubles, so if we die close,
Yeah.
just throw us both in.
2 for
Save
1.
yourself. Yeah, and
Yeah.
save yourself some
Actually,
money.
in our honor, I want our bodies to be displayed on the podcast one last time
Yes, someone has to do a podcast with us with mics.
with us there.
Yeah, our dead
Like,
bodies.
yeah,
Yeah, and I don't want stuffed. I want literally my dead body that's been like
yeah.
my
Oh,
bowels have been removed. Like
you just reminded me of something. Not to get too crazy about death here, but I don't know if it's Puerto Ricans or I don't even know what
Race?
ethnicity, but they'll have if the person enjoyed skateboarding. They'll like
I've seen this.
take care of the body. They'll have that person sitting on a couch with a skateboard in his arm and like his favorite hat and his favorite glasses, and he'll be on display like he's a dead person statue,
so I've seen that.
like a wax figure.
yeah,
That's one of them.
I've
Yes,
seen this, and it's fucking weird to me.
it's crazy.
I think
and I gotta say though, whatever they do to the bodies there, they look great. They have color.
yeah.
It's
Still would
just
creep
not
me
what
out.
it's not what we're used to.
Still would creep me
Obviously, you I'm sure can tell it's a dead person.
It still would creep me out though.
Yeah,
I just say get the body out of here. Like that's not. When I remember somebody, no matter who it is in my life, care about people, it doesn't really have anything to do with their body. Or their
you don't
face.
Need to see their preserved.
No,
there was one on a dirt bike because he liked dirt biking.
They have them on a dirt bike. Did they actually
Yeah, they
put the thing in first gear?
The kicks. Imagine if like the kickstand gave out and it's just like
He starts riding.
I saw one Puerto Rican funeral. He was robbing a guy's wallet. And I was like, what? He went out the way he lived his life.
he was.
That's
That
a
is
true-
terrible.
That's a
This
true- that's a
Mexican guy I know died. I made him finish my roof. You know what I
This
mean?
is getting
Too
racial
racist.
real quick.
Racist.
You know, it's like
Some guy Mel just looked
Good
up
thing
like,
I'm the host and I don't say racist things.
Sound gal Mel looks Mexican. Are you Mexican? What are you?
I've been told that before as
Well, you're brownish. I'm brown.
do you want to come into this mic? Do
See,
you want to take my spot?
Justin.
Talk to
Now,
you?
wait. Mel, get over here.
I'm not brown.
Justin, do you
Come here.
need help digging
I'm
the
afraid-
hole
I'm
that you're
afraid of Mel
currently?
because a switch just flipped. Like I could see it in her eyes. And that's a very
I've been
Puerto
called-
Rican thing.
I've been called Mexican as
wait.
an insult before. Oh, it sounds like lung sound.
Where you going, Scott?
Do we have
I'm
to be
afraid
close
of
now?
Mel. Mel, talking to the mic, please. Mel,
Okay.
what nationality are you? Obviously, you're not Mexican.
Italian.
Italian, okay. Well,
There it is. Then
usually-
that explains the.
All right.
Italian, French.
Well, Italians are Latin,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yes.
No.
I'm young. I'm not educated on this.
Okay.
stuff.
But yeah, I mean, for me, I'm not shocked that she's an Italian. I know what you're saying though. Like,
Yeah, because she's
it-
got an
it's not.
attitude, you know.
It's not like when you say, "Oh, you look Mexican." It's not from us. It's not in a negative way. It's
Why
like,
is,
"Oh,
why is Mexican an insult? I've been called Mexican, right? They're hard workers. They'll get your roof just banged out in a weekend, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah, it was my best friend's ex-girlfriend. They broke up and she was jealous that we were friends. So she was like, "Have fun with your Mexican girlfriend."
ooh."
I was like, "Okay, cool. I'm not, but thank you."
See, I would have thought of that in a different manner. If somebody called me Mexican, all I would think about is, "Oh, so I look tan. That's
Right,
cool."
yeah.
You know what I mean?
I would say
I wouldn't
I
think.
mean, you called me brown. I'm
Well, you're brown. Like I consider myself brown. I think
I'm
we're
very.
She's just got some
Oh,
color.
All right, her palms
I'm
are
also wearing makeup, so.
all right. Pretty offended about the brown.
No.
I think I'm brown,
Don't
for the
even
record.
go there.
I'm
Do
a
not
person
go
of
there.
color, Mel, and I'm
No.
offended at your
Well,
offense about
I'm
being labeled
just,
brown.
I'm just shocked that I've been assumed to be Mexican 2 times now.
Well,
Not that there's anything wrong with it. Like,
Selena was a
haven't you-
Mexican.
if I took a 23 and me, the DNA thing, I found out I wouldn't be mad.
Okay, maybe.
I think at this point we have to get to the bottom of it
I
now.
think we gotta
'cause
get a,
haven't you been? Haven't you been not accused? But
Files in
shouldn't
my
you be
blood.
cleaning?
Terrible.
we do not condone
No, Mel, you and I are
racism
the
here
Same, you and I are
the Whatever
basically
Bro
the same.
podcast.
We're the same color, so.
We're not the same color.
Would you think you're darker than me?
No,
Bro?
I'm brighter
gonna
than
fight
you.
oh,
Look at
okay.
how
Don't
pale
people-
I am.
Oh, I'm darker.
Don't
All
people
right.
think you're like Mongolian or something?
I've
You've gotten that before.
Yeah, Mel, I've gotten Mongolian before.
I've never gotten that one.
Well,
Mongolian, not Mongoloid, right?
Well,
'Cause-
depends on who you ask. My psychologist, for example,
We got to get a
well,
fourth mic.
Mel hates Mexicans.
Wait.
We know that now. You're never gonna get your lawn cut, young lady.
By the way, your skin
I
color
never
is
want a landscaper again.
yeah, her skin color is like lighter than yours. I don't
Well,
know.
I'm darker than you then.
Yeah, I don't get it.
you Mexican. That's what started this whole.
You know what? I brought you
Thing.
guys all burritos, and now no one's getting a single fucking grain of rice.
We got to get more bikes up in here so we can have
We do
some
Guys,
guy Mel.
I gotta go to work like a jackass.
right now.
There you go.
Fucking leave.
Oh no!
Oh, then have Mel come in.
Mel, come
Yeah.
in. No, you know.
Come on in, Mel.
You know what's funny? I thought you guys could be like, no, don't go. No, please, Sarah. You guys like, get the fuck out of here. We want this sexy
Well,
Mexican
let's
to get
be
on the mic.
let's be honest right now. You have work. We don't want to keep you
Get
from
outta
your
here.
job.
Wait.
Do you have extra time or no?
No, I gotta go.
Okay.
Well, I got 5 minutes.
Can I have a sip of this before you go?
There's nothing left.
Ah, what the?
I gotta leave, Joe. It's
Dude,
been
good to
a
see
good
ya.
time.
Good to see you.
Mel, you're whatever race you want to be.
Unbelievable.
Justin,
It's not an insult.
don't forget your coat, and make sure you say bye to Tone.
I didn't address any of my topics.
Yeah. Oh, save them. Save them. We got plenty of episodes left. See you later, Justin. Happy 50th episode.
Later, just.
Happy 50th. Anywho, going right along here. Oh, so we were talking about Christmas earlier. And I meant to mention this when we were discussing Christmas.
Yeah.
But the Elf on the Shelf bullshit's been around since like 2012, 2013.
Yeah.
I had kind of an issue with it. Now, just to give you an overall background,
Can you give me a background as to what the elf on the shelf is? 'Cause I don't
it's
even-
this specific elf that you buy. You can name it whatever the hell you want. It's supposed to be an elf from the North Pole, okay? And starting either, I think, the day after Thanksgiving is when you're supposed to start putting them out every night. So you have to think of a creative spot to put your elf.
And this is a way to get.
This is a way to say an elf is checking on you prior to Christmas to go report to Santa
Okay.
whether you're a good girl or good boy.
So to get kids. This doesn't work. So to get kids to do what they're supposed to do.
Correct.
For instance, you could use the thing and say, "Hey, the elf's look. He moved today, and he's saying if you don't, fucking clean the
Correct.
kitchen."
Like say the kid's being a douchebag. You could put in the note like, "Hey, you've been a pain to your mom." Like you could have him leave a little note. So, sorry, your dog's distracting me. Does he have to go or something?
No, he's just because Justin left.
So anywho, I just had a problem with that because now we grew up with, oh, you got to be good. You just got to be a nice boy. That way Santa will bring your gifts. All we needed was word of mouth from our parents.
Yeah.
Now it's, well, that word of mouth shit didn't work. So we have to create this elf, another mythical character,
On
in
top of
addition
Santa,
to
yeah.
Santa. So then eventually you have to tell this kid, okay, Santa's not real. And also some more bad news. The elf. The elf is also not real. Yeah, let him out. No, it's fine. There you go. So yeah, I was curious what you thought about that. I don't like the new tradition. I think we went through years and years of Christmases.
Where they were like, basically, do this or I'll fuck you up.
Yeah.
I think parents aren't doing that enough.
Well, I saw one that was like, the father is away for the military, and so the mom like put the little elf on the tree and said like, "Daddy, like the elf had to leave. Sorry, I'm late," because she like forgot to put it up or something.
Oh.
And she wrote like from the elf, "Sorry, I'm late. Like I had to go see Daddy at work."
Ooh,
and he
that's
says
cool.
he misses you a lot and stuff like that. So I thought that was sweet.
Yeah, so like the intention is
Yeah.
sweet. The problem is you now have to tell your child that two things aren't real, or your
Yeah.
child eventually
Yeah.
finds out.
So wait, the Easter Bunny, Santa, and my fucking elf isn't real? Yeah, that's tough.
Exactly.
That's tough.
So that's why I was like, and I am now a part of figuring out where to put this elf every night.
Wait, where do you have to put it?
Every single night. This is just how a lot of people do it.
Okay.
The elf has to be doing something different.
That's right.
Ye-
Every night.
Yep. So like,
So
say
like they wake up in the morning and they see
Correct.
it, right? Yeah.
it's a wake up in the morning thing. The elf stays where it is the whole time, and you're not supposed to touch the elf, because there's like he'll lose his magic.
Gotcha.
Okay.
That's so the kids don't start fucking with it and being like, this thing's just
Correct. So they don't play with it all the time or whatever. So that's the problem. You have to think of a brand new creative thing. So this goes from Thanksgiving to Christmas. You have to put this elf in a different spot. So every night I'm with my girlfriend, and I'm always just like, oh, shit, that's right. Like every day you forget because you're not used to hiding an elf
Yeah.
every night.
I just would not have kids. that easily.
Just
That's-
avoid
That's
whole
the shortcut.
Yeah. Now, you are a young lady.
problem. Yeah.
How old are you?
22.
Are you going to want to have kids one day?
I
Yeah.
thought you were going to ask if she had the
Uh,
elf on the shelf.
No.
Has Santa?
It's more likely.
What's Santa bringing you this year, Mel?
Oh God.
No, so you're 22. So
Yeah,
you think
and
you're gonna want to have? It's
Yes.
interesting talking to a younger.
It's
person.
Yeah,
a couple of
different
years
point of
ago
view.
when I was 19, I was like, I do not want children at all. But now, yeah, 100% I want.
You now want, what did it for you? Is there something like, do you go to like family stuff?
No, I feel like for me personally, like in my life, like I want to raise a kid. Like I want to have like that effect on a child.
Gotcha. You
know?
want to be able to mold
Yeah.
a child
You wanna
in
be a
your
mom.
own way. Yeah.
You want to be a mom?
Just with, yeah, like with my own experiences, like I want to give
Yep.
somebody a good life.
Yeah.
You got plenty of time. That's for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
So you're
yeah.
not saying that's something you want right now, just
Oh,
eventually.
absolutely. Yeah.
Smart.
Eventually.
Like next week.
No, like 2 weeks.
I'll like see posts from 20-somethings saying
Yeah.
how badly they
Baby
want kids. And I'm
fever.
just like, please don't. Like,
Yeah.
I would recommend not having a kid till at least approaching 30.
I agree. Late 20s.
Like if it's 27, 28, cool. A lot of people do that.
Or-
Back in the day, our parents were having kids much earlier than 28,
and
29.
that's the thing too. If you've been with that person since you were 16, then your early 20s isn't bad.
Yeah.
Right.
If you know you're gonna be with them forever, but like, man, I mean, I see what people go through with kids and shit. Like my close friend, what he goes through, he loves it, Alan.
Yeah.
But man, that kid.
There's a
literally,
lot involved.
His life had to get shut down
Yeah.
to take care of these
Yeah.
kids, and it's like you really need to prepare.
You've got sports, you've got this lesson and that lesson and
every day. There's
school, and
Oh.
you have to go to parent-teacher conferences.
it's sick, man. It's
Oh.
crazy.
It's
You got to
crazy.
be a special kind of person
Yeah.
for that.
And I hate,
Especially really young when you're
Yeah.
young.
and a lot of
Yeah.
people don't, not to preach, but a lot of people don't think about that. They'll just be like, oh, nope, want a kid, always wanted a kid. But I don't think it really hits them until they're doing the day-to-day.
It's called tunnel vision, my friend.
Yeah,
Mm.
it's tunnel vision. It's like,
you see it.
it always ends up, for the most part, working out. But
There's
like,
just
it's
a
not.
lot-
It's not.
yeah.
It's kind of something that you go through, and you're like, "Holy shit, this is way more than I thought it was."
Yeah. Like you have to know when you're gonna have a kid, your life is going to completely change.
Mhm.
Like there is no me first ever.
Like even like 22, like so young. I'm so selfish. I could never.
yeah, it's
Yeah, and you,
But, like, that's
you
not
should
wrong,
be.
is
Yeah,
exactly.
you
No.
should be at that age.
yeah. And you're in nursing school.
Mhm.
I hear that's a motherfucker.
Just a little bit.
And they do that to you on purpose, right? Because
Uh-huh.
they want to put you in
Oh, yeah.
situations that.
That where you feel like you're gonna absolutely just break at the seams.
So
and
they-
if you can handle it, congrats.
Their
you're gonna be a
goal
great
is pretty
nurse.
much to try and break you. Then.
Yeah, you could say that probably. Because if you can't perform under pressure, then what are you doing here?
So you're in nursing school. You just came here to be sound guy Mel
yeah,
and help us out.
Yeah.
And you brought your laptop.
yeah.
Because for your work stuff, like
Yes.
that's how you really can't
It's
take
24/7. You don't have weekends. You don't have at
Oof,
night really.
that's
Like
rough.
it's a shock that I'm able to be here
I
right
know.
now. Like it truly is a shock because it's literally like you leave school, you leave clinical, and you have something else to do for the rest of the night till you go to sleep. It's like sometimes you'll literally have to question, do I like take a shower? Do I eat dinner? It's
Wow.
One or the other.
no, seriously,
That's
like it's
fucking
really.
I've heard these
disgusting.
stories
It's crazy.
And
Yeah, and just mentally, it just takes.
But then once you're done,
Yeah,
but you got how
then
long?
yeah.
I have 6 months left.
Yeah, 6 months.
And then once
Yeah.
you're done, you have to actually do the
Yeah,
real
you
life
actually-
job
You're like,
of
whoa.
nursing,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh, this shit's crazy.
can't-
Depending on what kind of
You
nursing.
can't look to your right and ask your instructor how
No.
to do this. Yeah.
Nope. You got to
Mhm.
know all that stuff, and it's real life. It's like on
Yeah.
a person, like a real life
Yeah.
person you're putting a needle
Like,
into or whatever.
Today I was
Yeah.
at clinical and I did something pretty serious, and I've done it like 4 or 5 times in the lab, and I'm like, I know what I'm doing. I'm great. I know what I'm doing. I got in front of this person to do it with my instructor, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna kill this person.
Yeah,
It was so scary. I was like,
because you're doing it for
Please,
real,
yeah.
not in like a practice scenario. Crazy.
Hey, 6 months, power through it,
hmm,
and
yeah.
then you can make your money. Because that's what are you certified as a RN, right?
Not me. I'll be an LPN,
You'll be an LPN.
and then but doing LPN, you can bridge to your RN in a year. or 2
LPN's
years.
licensed
Practical.
practitioner. Yeah. Oh, is that what it? Practical?
nurse? Yeah.
And then RN is registered nurse.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Well, listen, I'm
Shit.
glad you're doing it early. You're 22. You're young. There's some
Yeah.
people I know that are doing it in their late 20s.
Oh yeah, a
and
lot.
30s.
Like honestly, majority of my class is like over 25, I believe, and then there's a lot of moms, and yeah, it's yeah.
Shit. Well, this
No,
was interesting. By the
Oh,
way.
totally. I just wanted to bring up real
Yeah.
quick. So she's 22. Are you going to be 23 or you just turned 20?
I just turned 22
Okay.
in September.
Jazel was 23 when he became mayor,
Wow, that is fucking nuts to think about. I forget about how young
which is
he
crazy.
was.
Could you
Can you imagine me being mayor?
could you picture yourself as a I mean,
Absolutely not.
at the same before we even talk about all the shit he's in now, then he still was into politics, and he went to school for political science, so he knew about that stuff.
Yeah.
But like I was thinking to myself at 22, there's no way in hell I would have wanted to do that, first of all.
Or could handle
Or
it.
could handle it. It's like you can't handle stress. I mean, you can handle stress as a 22-year-old,
You can when
but
you're a
I feel like
sociopath.
you can handle it better when you're older too, because you've gone through
Yeah.
all that.
For sure.
But
I think he's kind of a sociopath, though, so he can handle
totally.
all kinds of stress.
I don't think he started out that way. But it's just crazy to think that someone basically her age was
Yeah.
mayor.
That's fucking nuts.
Not to treat you as if you're
No,
a
totally.
child.
I would absolutely be crushed under pressure. Like, I would just. This
Imagine-
it would all blow.
Imagine having an office in the
Everybody
6th
would die.
floor
Yeah.
government center.
I would.
And everyone
That is
is your
wild.
below you is your employee.
No, I
That
would
is wild.
run away.
That's crazy.
Absolutely
I don't know
not.
what it's his birthday. I think it was yesterday.
Really?
Yep. And then I put myself in his position. It's like, all right. Oh, so you became mayor. You were mayor for a few years, and now you have 20-something federal charges against you. It's like on your birthday, though, it's like, yeah, it's my birthday. I'm 27. I'm going to jail for a long time. You know what I mean?
And he is.
Or so people think. God knows what will
Pretty
happen.
sure he is.
I just thought that was funny.
That
I
is
wish I
wild.
could say happy birthday to him, but that would come off
I don't.
mean.
Yeah. I don't care.
But yeah, that's that. This episode has been
Interesting.
very interesting.
Interesting. Got to work on the mic situation.
Yeah.
Got to work on.
I'm
the
just
cameras.
glad we were able to go live at not the exact time. It took us 6 minutes to figure out we weren't being broadcasted.
Well, it
but
took you. I didn't do anything, man. Somehow we
That's
got. You know what's funny? We look here, like, look at all this shit we got here. Look at, like, it's just like, how the fuck did we do
it's
this?
a lot of buttons.
A lot of
It's a lot
buttons.
more than I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, we got
I
laptops.
don't-
We're like
mixers.
apes. We just want to just bang everything with our fists. Like,
Mm.
just work.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. But we did it.
We
Episode
did it.
50.
We got through it.
Under the belt. Sound guy
Sound
Mel.
guy Mel, thanks so much for
Jumping
being
in for
here.
Jeff.
Totally.
Absolutely.
Justin was actually on time, so I'm proud of Justin. Justin, thanks for being on. That'll do it for episode 50. Guys, thanks for joining us. Tune in next time, probably next week. See ya. Bye. Oh, yeah, I got to press stop, huh?
Okay. How to do that?
See you guys. See you guys. See you guys.
Later.
Bye. See ya. See ya.
Peace.
See ya, bro. Just stop the stop streaming on the.
No one prepared me for this.
Nah, you're good. Yes, I feel needed.